Hello! I have this piece of soft maple. It's about 2 1/4 inches thick and about 13 inches square. I found the center just by measuring from 2 sides, and I used a compass to draw in a circle. So now I'm going to bandsaw the disc. Now I'm going to want to mount a glue block on that, and the surfaces, the faces of that board was slightly cupped, so those faces are not flat enough to make, or smooth enough at this point to make a glue surface. So I'm going to mount that between centers, and I've just got I brought the tool rest up to use as a fixed reference, and that tells me that I've got to move that way a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to make a mark here so I know what I'm looking at, whether I've looked at Okay, so I'm back to my pencil mark. I'm not putting much pressure against there because I don't want to make a big dimple and then not be able to move it just a little bit. Okay, right now that is the point that's furthest away. That's also right in the center of the cup. So that, if I rotate that over to that side, that gap is not hugely different than this gap. And at 90 degrees, I have that gap there, and that gap isn't too much different, so I'm going to say that's close enough and just fix it at that point. Okay, so I'll be able to smooth this surface, but I won't be able to get the dead center, so I'll hand plane the center. There'll be a little bit of a mound at center because I won't be able to cut there. So I'll just hand plane that off afterwards before I glue my disc on. Glue my glue block on there. Alright. Let's see what it turns like. That's turning alright. And I'm going to wind up with my pockets full of shavings if I don't put my smock on here. Alright, that's looking alright. Okay, before I get too far ahead of myself, let's just check. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I am quite low in the center, which means I've been taking off more wood in here, and I haven't taken hardly anything off, or haven't taken a whole lot out at the edge, so I'll concentrate more on this outer few inches. Okay, that's pretty good for what I need to do. I'm going to be putting about, a 4-inch disc, gluing it on the middle there. So I'll take this over to my bench, hand plane that nub off until it's smooth, and then I will glue a disc on there, or a square at this point maybe. Going to be a glue surface, so I need it to be flat, and it's not. That's getting there. So I'm going to use something that I call a fairing board. I don't know if this is just a piece of white melamine with a piece of sandpaper glued to it. That's 120 grit sandpaper. And I'm just going to hold that against there to flatten that face. And that looks good. Now this isn't foolproof. Like, it would be quite easy for me to put too much pressure out here and tilt that away and wind up sanding a cone. So you do need to make sure you're putting the pressure within the circle and keeping the sandpaper in full contact all the way across. It would also be easy to tip it this way. So you want to get the surface very nearly flat to start with, and just use the sandpaper, the fairing board, to remove the high spots. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, I have the drive set, the dimple from the drive center on this face. So if I just put glue on everything and tighten that up, it should be as close to centered as I could reasonably expect to get it. So that's what I'm going to do, rather than fiddle with drawing circles and trying to get that on the circle without it slipping. And for a piece with that much weight and mass to it, I'm not going to trust CA glue. I'm going to use proper woodworking glue, and I guess I should have a stick to spread it. Try and get the coat evenly spread over the whole face. Now I have seen people say, and I can't say that I disagree, the tailstock is not a clamp, but I think for this particular application it will function well enough as one. Leave that for half an hour and I can take it off and set it aside and let it finish curing. You want to watch the glue dry? I didn't think so.